You have one income stream. That's not a criticism. That's a description of how 94% of working adults in their 20s are operating right now. One employer, one direct deposit, one number that determines whether the month works or it doesn't. And you've been told that's normal, stable even. Get a good job, earn a good salary, build from there. That's the script. That's what the guidance counselor said. That's what the LinkedIn algorithm rewards. That's what your parents lived. Here's what nobody told you. A single income isn't a foundation. It's a single point of failure dressed up as stability. And before you tell me that your job is secure, I want you to sit with that word for a second. Secure. Secure means it can't be taken from you. Tell me honestly, can it? Can you walk into your manager's office tomorrow and guarantee that your income will exist in the same form 12 months from now? Can you survive, not just manage, but actually survive if it disappeared for 90 days? If the honest answer is no, then what you have isn't stability. What you have is a fragile structure that feels solid until the day it isn't. That's the thing about financial fragility. It doesn't announce itself. It just waits. Now, I want to tell you about two people. Same age, 23, same city, both holding a salary of $42,000 a year after taxes, working in digital operations at a mid-sized company. The desk is the same height, the commute is roughly the same length, the starting line is identical. The difference isn't talent, it isn't connections, it isn't luck. The difference is a decision one of them made on a random Thursday night with $380 in their checking account and a laptop that was 3 years old. One of them opened a second income stream. The other one didn't. I want to walk you through exactly what the next 18 years looked like for each of them, not as inspiration, not as motivation, as a financial autopsy, so you can see with surgical precision what a single decision compounds into over time. Let's start with the builder, age 23. Her name is Kayla. She's got the $42,000 salary. She pays $910 in rent for a one-bedroom she splits with a flatmate. She eats at home 5 nights a week, not because she's disciplined, because she's doing the math constantly, and the math is tight. On that Thursday night, she doesn't launch a business, she doesn't quit her job, she doesn't have a breakthrough moment set to a piano soundtrack. She opens a freelance profile on a platform for content writers and prices her services at $35 per article. She has no portfolio. She posts 2 samples she wrote that evening. The first month she earns $70, 2 articles. It barely covers a grocery run. She doesn't stop. She treats it like a second job with a terrible boss who only pays on results. She writes in the evenings. She improves. She raises her rate to $55 after 90 days. By month 6, she's earning an average of $380 extra per month. Not glamorous, not viral, just real money sitting in a separate account she opened specifically so she can't see it next to her daily balance. That account has a name. She calls it the engine. She doesn't spend the engine, not on a trip, not on a new phone, not on anything. She lets it accumulate. Now meet the other one. Same age, same salary. His name is Marcus. Marcus is smart. Marcus works hard. He shows up early. His performance reviews are strong. He has a clear plan. Get good at the job, get promoted, earn more, build from the raise. This is a sensible plan. It's also a plan that gives complete control of his financial ceiling to someone else. He's not thinking about that, not yet. His $42,000 nets him around $2,800 a month after taxes and benefits. His rent is $1,040, a one-bedroom to himself because his own space matters to him, and that's a legitimate choice. Groceries, transport, the gym membership, the 2 streaming subscriptions, the weekly dinner out. By the end of month 1, he has $220 left. He puts $100 of it in savings, and he feels like he's being responsible. He is being responsible. He's also building exactly one thing, a dependency. By the end of year 1, Kayla has $4,600 in the engine. She's raised her freelance rate to $75 per article. Her monthly side income is now averaging $620. She also has 2 small retainer clients, companies that pay her $400 a month each to produce content on a schedule. Her side hustle is now generating $1,420. That's more than half her base salary, from evenings and weekends, from one laptop. Marcus has $1,100 in savings. His performance review came back excellent. He received a 4% raise. His salary is now $43,680. He feels like things are moving. They are, just slowly, and in only one direction. The gap at year 1 isn't dramatic yet, but here's what I need you to notice. The gap isn't just financial. The gap is structural. Kayla now has 2 income streams. If her job disappeared tomorrow, she has $1,420 a month to land on while she finds the next thing. Marcus has $1,100 in a savings account and a resume he hasn't updated in 14 months. One of them has a net, the other one has a salary. Age 24 to 26. Kayla makes a decision that looks small from the outside. She stops freelancing on the content platform and begins approaching companies directly. She builds a list of 40 small businesses in her city that have no consistent content strategy. She sends 40 cold emails over 2 weekends. 3 respond. 1 becomes a client at $1,200 a month for 6 months of retainer work. She just closed a contract worth more than a quarter of her annual salary. In her spare time, on her laptop, while still employed full-time. By 26, the Engine account holds $22,400. She hasn't touched it once. She has 4 active clients on monthly retainers. The side income is now $3,100 a month. That's not a side hustle anymore. That's a business operating in parallel to her job. She begins tracking something she calls her replacement ratio, the percentage of her salary her business could replace if the job vanished tomorrow. At 26, the ratio is 88%. 88%. She is 88% of the way to being financially untethered from any single employer, and she still has her salary. Marcus gets promoted at 25. The title changes. The salary goes to $54,000. He upgrades his apartment. New building, gym included, better neighborhood. Rent jumps to $1,480. He deserves it. The environment is better. The commute is shorter. These are real benefits. But the math has a problem. The raise gave him an extra $850 a month. The apartment upgrade cost him $440 more in rent, plus another $180 in lifestyle drift from the new neighborhood. He absorbed $620 of the raise before he could invest it. He has $2,600 in savings. He starts a 401k at 2%. His employer matches up to 5%. He is leaving 3%, roughly $1,620 a year, on the table in free money he never collected. He doesn't know this. He hasn't done the math on the match. Nobody showed him how. Now, I want to stop here and make sure you understand something, because this is the part most financial content skips past. What Marcus is experiencing is not a character flaw. It is a design feature. The system he is navigating, the single income employment structure, is calibrated so that pay rises generate lifestyle upgrades, which consume the raise, which keep you tethered to the next raise, which is controlled by someone else. It is a feedback loop built to keep talented, hard-working people productive and financially dependent. Not maliciously, just structurally. The outcome is the same regardless of intent. The only exit from that loop is a second income stream that operates outside the loop entirely. Kayla found the exit at 23. Marcus hasn't looked for it yet. If what you're hearing is making you uncomfortable, if you're doing the math on your own replacement ratio right now and you don't like the number, then this is the moment. Not next month, not when things slow down at work. Now. What I'm going to show you in the second half of this breakdown is exactly how Kayla structured her transition, the specific financial architecture she used to move from freelancer to business owner, and the one mistake she almost made at 27 that would have wiped out 3 years of progress. Most people in her position make it. She didn't, because someone showed her the mechanism before she walked into it. Stay with me. Age 27. Kayla makes a move that looks reckless from the outside. She negotiates a 4-day work week at her full-time job. Same deliverables, 80% hours, 92% salary, a reduction of $3,800 a year. Her manager agrees because she's been performing at a level that makes her irreplaceable enough to negotiate. She now has Fridays. Fridays become client acquisition days. Not execution, not delivery, pure acquisition. She systematizes the cold outreach. She hires a part-time virtual assistant for $600 a month to handle scheduling and administrative back and forth. This is the first time she spends money from the engine. It is not a cost, it is a multiplier. By the end of year 5, the freelance business generates $5,400 a month. She crosses the threshold. Her side income now exceeds her salary. The replacement ratio is 141%. She is earning more from the business she built in her spare time than from the job she trained for. She doesn't quit, not yet. She waits until the business sustains the income for 8 consecutive months. No dips, no gaps. Proof of durability. Then she exits. At 28, Kayla is self-employed. No employer, no single point of failure. She has a client base, a contract pipeline, a growing reputation in a niche, and $31,000 in the engine, untouched capital she accumulated over 5 years while still employed, which she now deploys as working capital to scale. Marcus at 27 is making $58,000 a year. He's competent, he's respected, he received a strong year-end review. He is fully dependent on a machine that he does not control.
And then the machine makes a decision that has nothing to do with him. His company restructures. His entire department is flattened. He's not fired, he's absorbed into a new team under a different manager with a different set of priorities. The title stays, the respect erodes. The trajectory he was on quietly disappears. He's not devastated, he adapts. But the promotion he was expecting, the one that was going to take him to $68,000, doesn't come. Someone from the new structure gets it instead. He has $6,200 in savings. His 401k has $14,400. He's been contributing at 3% for 2 years. The match he left uncollected over that period is approximately $3,480 in compounding employer contributions he will never recover. He is not failing, he is floating, doing everything right inside a structure that has no mechanism to reward him for doing everything right. There's a word for this feeling, and most people in their late 20s know it intimately. You work hard, you improve, you show up, and the ceiling stays exactly where it was. Not because you lack talent, because the ceiling isn't set by talent. It's set by whoever controls the budget. Age 28 to 32. Kayla's business has 3 tiers now. Execution work, writing and strategy, still done personally for top-tier clients. Productized services, templated packages sold at fixed prices, delivered with a small contracted team of 2 writers she pays per piece. And a digital product, a content strategy framework she spent 3 months building and now sells for $197. It generates between $1,400 and $3,200 a month passively, with no additional labor from her. She is no longer trading exclusively time for money. Part of her income runs while she sleeps. This is the architecture of financial leverage, not passive income as a fantasy, passive income as an engineering problem she solved over 4 years of iteration. By 32, Kayla's total monthly revenue from the business is $11,400. Her personal draw is $7,800 a month. She puts 18% into a SEP IRA. Her invested assets total $94,000. She owns her business outright. Zero debt. Marcus, at 32, earns $64,000. He changed jobs at 30, a lateral move for a slight increase and a fresh start. The new company is better. The culture is better. He feels re-energized. He has $18,400 in his 401k. He has $4,100 in savings. He has no secondary income. He has thought about starting something on the side several times: a tutoring service, a consulting idea, a newsletter. Each time, the week gets away for him. The activation energy required to start never quite aligns with the available time and mental space. This is the invisible trap of single-income comfort. The salary is just sufficient enough to remove urgency, and urgency, for most people, is the only thing that produces action. Age 33 to 38. Kayla makes her second major move at 34. With $31,000 still in her capital reserves and $94,000 invested, she begins acquiring a small client business from someone exiting the industry. A content agency with 8 recurring clients and $18,000 monthly revenue, but an owner who's burned out and priced to sell at $54,000, 3 times monthly net profit, standard for this type of transaction. She negotiates a seller finance deal, $22,000 down, $32,000 paid over 18 months from the acquired revenue itself. She just bought a business with other people's future money. She didn't liquidate her investments. She didn't take on consumer debt. She structured the acquisition so the business pays for itself. This is how capital compounds differently when you understand the mechanics. Not by saving harder, by building ownership that generates more ownership. By 38, Kayla owns 2 businesses. Combined monthly revenue is $24,000. Her personal draw is $13,400 a month. Total invested assets, $287,000. She has not had an employer in a decade. She hasn't needed one. Marcus, at 38, is earning $74,000 a year. He got the promotion he was waiting for. He is competent, respected, and financially dependent on a single organization. His 401k has $61,000. His savings hold $8,700. He is not in crisis, but he is not building anything that belongs to him. Here is the number that matters. Marcus's net worth at 38 is approximately $69,700. Most of it locked in a retirement account he cannot touch without penalty for another 24 years. Kayla's net worth at 38 is approximately $431,000, liquid, accessible, and generating income every month without requiring her presence. The distance between them is $361,300. They started the same year, in the same city, on the same salary. The difference is not luck, it is not connection, it is not brilliance. It is one decision made on a Thursday night at 23 to open a second stream before the first one felt insufficient. Because here is the truth that the middle-class financial script will never tell you. You will not save your way to financial independence. Savings are a buffer. A buffer is not a building. You cannot construct wealth from a single source of money controlled by someone else, no matter how well you manage it, no matter how much you optimize the margins, no matter how disciplined you are. The wealthy do not have jobs. They have income architectures, multiple streams, owned assets, scalable structures. They do not wait for a raise. They build a mechanism that raises itself. And the entry point to that architecture is not $100,000 in the bank. It is not a perfect business idea. It is not the right moment or the right economy or the right season of life. The entry point is a skill you already have, offered to a market that will pay for it at a price that is lower than hiring a full-time employee. That is the entirety of the starting action. Not a business plan, not a logo, not a website. One deliverable. One offer. The second income stream doesn't have to replace your salary tomorrow. It has to exist. It has to begin compounding. Because the compound effect of a second income stream running for 10 years doesn't just add money to your life. It changes the architecture of your life entirely. It changes what happens when your employer makes a decision that has nothing to do with you. It changes what happens when your industry shifts. It changes what happens when you get tired of working for someone else's vision and you're finally ready to work on your own. Marcus is functional. Marcus is not free. The difference between functional and free isn't a dramatic event. It isn't a windfall. It isn't a viral moment or a breakthrough product. It is what happened on a Thursday night that looked like nothing and turned out to be everything. The decision is already available to you. The question is whether you make it this week or you wait for a better time that keeps moving forward just ahead of you, always one more month away, until one day you do the math and realize the 10 years you needed were already behind you. Build the second stream. Build it small. Build it now.